Hello, Victor here again, restoringmercedes.com, and this is another update for Rich in New York. And this is going to be a combination video because a few little things will have to be put in together into one video, I believe, because it's going to be easier. So number one is that, well, I just finally got these cylinders rebuilt, so the seals replaced on both sides, get everything installed. So everything looks good, thread lock and everything on bolts the right way. The rear has been reassembled. All these assemblies, all of the covering and everything was reinstalled. Everything looks just right. You know, the gaps and everything just like factory, just the way it was when I removed it all. Like I said before, the little triangular piece was glued at some point with, it appears to be hot glue. So I don't know, I'll try to do something with it, but this is, you know, this is what it is. It's laying right here, so that's a triangular piece. Sail panel, they call it. And the little clip over here is broken. Right over here. That's a very common thing on these cars, is these little clips just break off when you try to remove the panel. So right now I'm going to assemble the top, and then I'm gonna move on to the rear, reassemble the trunk linings, and then we'll go to the check engine situation and the shifter linkage, so that it has to be done. I'm gonna double check on that next. Okay, so maybe I'll make another addition with rear all assembled, so you can see that everything is done in that department, and we'll move on. Alright, so more parts are coming up. Okay, so here's the continuation of the video. Now the front is assembled, you know, everything is done. Roof situation is completely sorted. Trunk is assembled, so now we're looking at check engine situation. So I want just to see what's with the codes here coming out. Part throttle adaptation, part throttle self-adaptation. It's not greatest, but, and these are the only two codes over here. Part throttle self-adaptation at limit value right and left. So either the throttle, probably, maybe mass airflow sensor. I think it's mass airflow sensor though. Sort of is. So these are two codes that we have for check engine. I'm going to run live data, not gonna clear them, actual values. I want to see what do we have. Air mass sensor right now. Let's see what happens here. This is cold start, so there's going to be lots of air coming in. Voltage obviously will be high. And as you can see, cold start RPMs. There they go down. It does seem to be working though. It seems to be working, the mass airflow sensor. I mean, at least I see readings change. Might be a vacuum leak, therefore the car cannot adapt. Purge is off. And this throttle valve is programmed too, so that's a good thing. Well, I have to dig into this a little bit because this is cold start. So this is our self-adaptation 1.3. It's kind of a lot. Let's see self-adaptation limits. Yeah, okay, so as we can see, self-adaptation limits are 1.32, so it basically reached the limit. Mixture lean and rich, so there's got to be something to do. It might be master flow, might be maybe vacuum leaks or something. Well, anyway, I'll dig into this a little more and then I'll add to this video, see what I see, what I find out. Alright, so this is another addition to the video. So what we have here at this point, I did attach the little sail panel my way. I do it like with a little plastic weld. Now the engine situation, I found a vacuum leak in the vacuum manifold, the usual area really, so it was cracked, so I plastic weld that, and I removed mass airflow sensor, cleaned it, put it back, rubber seals, everything seems to be alright. There is some oil leaks around valve covers that can also contribute to vacuum leak, but not as significant. I wouldn't really put my money on those, but it happens from time to time. So, but right now I drove the car a couple of miles and I did reset adaptation values, the ones that had codes for, and as you can see, adaptation values are within limits, 1.06, 1.05. When the code came up, you remember it was 1.31, 1.30, limit is 1.32, so they were way up, and now they're within specification. Obviously the car will have to be driven a little bit, but it appears that that did the trick. Same for idle speed, as you can see. They were in negative zone, now they're in positive zone, so it seems like it did work for us, but to be determined, the car needs to be driven, and you know. Now these are the readings from mass airflow sensor. As you can see, it does read voltage is 1.4 and 16 kilograms per hour. So let's see what are the values would have been, kind of like the come on now. Okay, now we have M113 from 10 to 20, so we're right in between. 1.3, 1.7. This is about where we are at the moment, so we're actually pretty good. As you can see, we're right at 16 from 10 to 20, so we're 16 and 1.4, that's 1.3 to 1.7, so right 1.4 volts. We are in the range, so it appears that we are within ranges here, and that looks good. The other thing that I wanted to see after throttle valve stop was reprogrammed, intake pressure works, the oxygen sensors, now the sweep is good, as you can see, change is nice. So you obviously want to go from high to low, so that tells you that sensor actually reads well, and it happens here, as you can see, from 111 to 700 rapid change. This is great, and this is on warmed up vehicle at the moment, and it seems like sensors do work. Catalytics, these are a little high though, I don't know why, that's kind of weird, but again we'll see, because usually downstream sensors, they're usually around 500 on good cats. There's 760, that reads a little rich. They do seem to work, so that is encouraging. I never had codes for the oxygen sensors or catalytic converters, but okay, so they're kind of becoming at around 500 range. It could be that the car is not really, I mean, I only drove like 2 miles or so, so that's not really a long test drive. It could have been that cats have to be warmer to work more efficient. So that's that. Okay, so let's leave it to that. CD changer I found to be defective. Let me go show you what's going on with CD changer, because it is very bizarre situation. It's stuck, so you just press the button, it does not come out. Okay, I also did find this little knob here, and that was under covering, so I don't know if somebody, it was under this covering down under, so I don't know what was it doing there. Two zip ties were also cut in there, so somebody was doing something in that area. Not like it was in the accident, or maybe they thought they already replaced CD changer at some point and now it isn't working again. Codes come up as mechanical fault. Actually, it can read CD changer. Optical ring actually sees this is fiber optic one, and it sees the it is shown on the ring, and one time it even came up as saying track 1 is about to play, but apparently, obviously, if we have a mechanical fault, then it's not going to play. Maybe I'll take it apart real quick and see, because this is a fiber optic CD changer, so it's kind of a piece that is not that easily to be just found just like that. Okay, so the trunk is reassembled. As you can see, everything is ready to go. Lights, everything is good. I cleared all the codes, so once more I'll show you a roof operation. So let's go and look at the roof operation when the engine is running. So here we have the rear of the roof, because I might put hardtop back on. So roof works excellent, speed is about right, I have no problems with that. The reservoir, I topped it off because it was a little low. I put just a little bit higher than maximum mark, because system has to work a few times to bleed completely, so I'm sure it'll take some fluid into cylinders to fill them up once they all bleed out. And basically, shifter bushings I also replaced, so the shifter is nice and tight. One of the bushing was okay and the other one was completely gone, so now, as you can see, it's actually nice and tight, the shifter. You can actually feel shift, like when it gets into the position. It's really nice actually. There is no noise under the vehicle, and I'm really happy with this. Underneath, the vehicle is extremely dry, it's extremely clean, very nice. And basically I believe that would be all. Well, obviously check engine, and all the codes were erased, so all cleaned up. If any codes will come back up, then I'll read it again, but other than that, I think we're good to go. Alright, so this is all, I guess. This is for Rich in New York, and the repairs at this point are finished. So this is just a final update, and then I'll give you a call, and then we'll get together so you can pick up your vehicle. Alright, so this is Victor again at RestoreYourMercedes.com. Thank you for watching.